So I was talking with my friend James last week and he ran a test. 2,500 email addresses that one of the most popular email verifiers on the market marked as risky. When he rechecked them, 904 were actually valid and safe to send to. Then I got curious and ran another 10,000 list of emails that were actually marked as not safe to send to. Over 3,400 came back as valid. And even though that same tool said that they weren't safe to send to, they were actually perfectly good email addresses. So what we came to realize is that these tools are basically hiding around 30% of your total market. If a verifier flags 3,000 emails as risky, most people delete them or put them in the Google Sheet that is just marked as risky emails. That's potential buyers, that's demos, that's conversations, and that's deals just being pushed into a Google Sheet because your verifier marked them as invalid. And here's where we've discovered like how interesting it actually is. And it's not even about email validation. It's more about how the market perceives these legacy tools that lean on these old tricks. So after doing a bit of digging, they use what we call surface level verification. So basically you're just pinging the mail server, you're seeing what comes back, and then you're labeling it either safe, risky, or just invalid. Most tools aren't actually able to verify what we call catch-all emails, which is basically just going a couple layers deeper. That's why James saw those valid business emails being flagged as risky. And if right now you're like, what the heck is a catch-all? Like, what does that mean? Here's a simple explanation. So imagine putting out a job post and you get 100 applicants, right? You want your assistant to quickly scan through these 100 and just tell you who is qualified, right? But unfortunately, your assistant did a quick surface level scan through these 100 and she threw away 30 applicants, which were good applicants, but she threw them away because the subject line was too short, they didn't have profile pictures, whatever it is. Those 30 applicants that are now in the trash, somewhere in that 30 could have been your dream hire or your dream customer. But your assistant, which is basically your verification tool, was so surface level that it didn't actually go deep enough to look at the application. It just looked at the surface level parts of the application. So because of this, 30% of your applicants of your lead list is removed and marked as risky, invalid, not qualified. So let me bring this back to eye level. Right now, I think there's a big window where you can reach out to the hidden 30% of your market selling your product if you can verify catch-all emails. So here's what I would recommend. Find wherever your company stores invalid emails, risky emails, gather them, and then put them into this verifier on findymail.com. A lot of the times what you'll see is if you push in 10,000 emails that other verifiers marked as invalid or risky, a lot of the times you're gonna get around 20 to 30% of your lead list back immediately, and it's safe to send to. So you'll get 2,000, 3,000 email addresses that are safe to send to. And what I would recommend doing is literally cold emailing them today or tomorrow and seeing how high your reply rates actually are, because nobody is cold emailing these leads. This is a massive opportunity in your market to reach out to these hidden leads. Because if your email tool calls 30% of your leads as risky, but they're actually valid, maybe the actual risk is the tool that you're using. So again, just grab a handful of your own risky emails, go to the description and grab 100 free credits, and then test them side by side, and you'll see it for yourself in real time. Because the fix isn't using multiple tools and waterfalling surface level verifiers. The fix is verifying in real time. Real-time verification checks what's happening right now, sending signals, domain status, all live in real time. That is the deepest level of verification. Surface level verification would be looking at like a physical directory from 2 or 3 years ago to ensure that the person still lives there. But real-time verification is using like a drone or hiring somebody to go and make sure that somebody actually lives there by knocking on the door, right? That takes a lot more time, but it's real-time verification. That's what's needed in 2025. You don't need to use an old directory. You need to make sure that they actually live there in real time. One updates in real time, the other is basically out of date. That's the real difference between static data and live data. That's why for 3 years now, coming up the end of 2022, I started using this verifier that does this real-time verification. You would never see above a 5% bounce rate, and you're not gonna lose your best leads to that risky label. And fun fact, by the way, clay.com, which is basically the biggest sales tool that has blown up in the B2B space over the last couple of years, now uses Findymail as their default verifier on their platform. So if you are doing cold outbound, this is going to give your company a massive advantage. You basically just instantly unlocked 30% more reachable leads and hidden leads than your competitors. Like, there's no new tools, there's no waterfalling 6-7 tools, there's basically no extra work. You just get data that actually reflects reality. So head to the description, get your free 100 real-time verification credits with Findymail, and I recommend watching this video next.